Hey guys, it's Matt Tom coming at you with a deck profile for Inzektors. I'm doing this for teamshibainu, so without further ado, let's get started. So first off, you have your 9 Inzektor cards: Inzektor Hornet, Inzektor Dragonfly, Inzektor Centipede. If you don't know the loop, Dragonfly, once returned you equip Hornet, and you search out Centipede, you use Centipede's effect, you get Hornet, send it to the grave, pop another card, and you search out your another Dragonfly. That's the loop really quickly. I run 1 Gigamantis. It beefs up the monsters, and his effect is you can special summon 1 from your grave when it's sent as an equip card to the graveyard. So it helps with the OTK with this deck. I don't run Giga Weevil. I find that a really dead draw because all it does is give you defense and you can't equip it to a face down. So Gigamantis works out pretty well. Next, so that's the 10 Inzektor monsters that I run onto the other monsters. 2 Armageddon Knight. It dumps Hornet in the grave, and it's used as an effect Veiler target because what will happen is I'll have Hornet in my hand, and I'll just use him as bait to see if they'll Veiler, and then just set up my Dragonfly play. 2 Veilers. They're needed in the format. This might even go up to 3, seeing how there's a lot of decks that this stops, and it's a light target for BLS. 2 Thunder King. Thunder King forces your opponent to use a card on it, so like either Smashing Ground or like a Solemn or something, because it stops a lot of things. They can't add cards to their hand, and it negates special summons, so it's really good. 1 Birdman. He serves as the tuner of the deck and a bouncer, because what will happen is I'll often summon Dragonfly, have it Veilered, so what will happen is I'll bounce it back with Birdman just to save it for another turn. Sangan for searching out the Dragonfly and Hornet. Gores because you don't like to put a bunch of cards on the field with Inzektors. And BLS because it's a great clutch card, and you're running 4 light targets, so that's good. Onto the spells. I run 2 MST to clear the field for my Inzektor loop. I'll often stumble across like a Solemn or something, and this just clears them out. I find 3 too much because it kind of slows it down if your opponent doesn't set anything. 1 Inzektor Sword. This one I run because it beefs up your monsters if you need to trample something, and its effect is when it's sent to the graveyard. So it doesn't have to be equipped to something. Well, it does to get on the field, but when sent to the grave, you can add 1 to from your graveyard to your hand, which is really good for your Dragonfly loop. Mind Control because it's just a fun card to run, and it really it's just really helpful whether you're using your opponent's monsters for synchros or exceeds. 1 Allure because you're running a bunch of darks. Staple Dark Hole, Staple Reborn, Staple Heavy, Avarice because you're running through your Inzektor loop pretty quickly. Foolish to dump the Hornet in the grave, and Staple Book of Moon. Onto the traps. I run 2 Call the Haunted. Call the Haunted's a great card. It sets you up for lots of loops, whether it be Dragonfly or Centipede, or it can simply get back Thunder King if you need it in certain situations, so that's good. Oh, can't get it. 2 Bottomless stops a lot of things, and I'm running Bottomless because, as you'll see soon, I run 2 Leviers, so this helps a lot in getting those level 3s and 4s back to use as either Exceed material or just beat sticks. You got your standard Solemn Brigade, 2 Warnings, 1 Judgment, and then I have 1 Compulse because there's a lot of decks that run around Synchros and Exceeds, and this just stops all of them. 1 Dark Bribe to set up my plays for Inzektors. It kind of works as a MST, because I was thinking about taking this out for an MST, but this seems to work better because this can be activated on your opponent's turn and it'll like negate a Dark Hole or something, so that's good. And last but not least, I have Mirror Forest. That's just a staple card. The deck is 41, and onto the extra deck. 2 Leviathan Dragons because the rank 3s are super easy to get out, and this just serves as a beat stick. 1 Zen Main to finally got my hand on 1. This is the condom of Yu-Gi-Oh! It protects yourself and buys time for just about anything. As I mentioned before, the 2 Levier. I'll often get like my Hornet DD Crowd or some crap like that. So I always run so 2 Leviers or imperative in the deck, because when they DD Crow your Hornet, you can bring it back and use Hornet's effect to get either another Hornet or beef it up with Gigamantis. So that's really good. 1 Acid Golem. If you need to trample something, Acid Golem will usually do the trick. It's at 3,000, so I mean not too many monsters that are played right now can get over that. 1 Giga. It helps with the OTK if I'm going for it, and I use it because it's a light target for BLS, so that's always helpful if I need to dump it in the grave. Utopia and Utopia Ray. Utopia is just a rank 4, so if I mind control a monster that my opponent has, I can just overlay it for Utopia. And Utopia Ray, because it's a good clutch card, and if I mind control Utopia, I can just throw this on top to take control of it. That's it for the Exceeds. Now for Synchros. 1 Catastor. Underground Arachnid. This card has made a big comeback. It hasn't seen any action really before, besides in Inzektors. So you just get the Birdman plus any level 3 Inzektor with it, and you could just take, and you can get one of your opponent's monsters and equip it to it, so it works out really well. 1 Gaia Knight helps you get over that Stardust. Black Rose for clearing the field. Ancient Fairy for anything that has a field spell. And it actually helps with your loop, believe it or not, because most people forget about its other effect is you can special summon a level 4 lower from your hand, and if you're just getting monsters on the field, it really helps because it gets you like Dragonfly or Centipede on the field. And last but not least, Stardust. Stardust is a generic 8, and because I run Starlight Road. So that's it for my deck profile. Please leave any suggestions or comments below thinking on what I should do with it. Thanks for watching YouTube. This is Matt Tom signing out for Team Shiba Inu.